So, we're going to be starting off with a module here. It is called the Dreadcrypt of Skogenbee. We'll start off with a little preface. You see the gentle little village of Skogenbee. It's nestled up against the foothills of a mountain range. In the fields, up against the foothills of the mountains, you can see a group of children. Looks like they're pulling large stones out of the field to get it ready for tilling for that year's crops. One of the young ladies manages to push over a rather large rock nestled at the base of a tree. When it falls away, it reveals a tunnel entrance, uh, held open with a dome framing it. Most of the tunnel itself is overgrown by the tree growing over top of it. The child climbs in. You know how kids are, they're all daring each other. One was brave enough, goes in. Little while later, she tosses out a silver ringlet, talking about how there's all kinds of tunnels and cool treasure. But when she goes to climb out, something grabs her and pulls her right back in. That was several days ago. Today, the five of you were on your way to one of your favorite haunts, the Three Squires, a lovely little tavern. And you go through Skogenbee on the way there. The village elders stop you, tell you the tale of what happened to poor Jorah, and begging you for their help. Reluctantly, User talked into it. Once you see the silver armlet that one of the kids brought back, perhaps you could get away with some gold. The other issue they had, however, is that since this happened at night, something's been coming into town. They're finding families in their homes dead with absolutely no marks upon them. Now is the time where you come up with your goals for this adventure. They do give some examples if you would like.
We're like
Find the girl.
So we're like self-contractors, right?
Basically, yes.
Yeah, so there's no like get paid because no one's gonna get paid, but we're only paying ourselves.
Pretty much.
Yeah, whatever you happen to find in the tunnels, and you travel through Skogenbee every now and again. Like I said, it's on the way to the Three Squires. So you're kind of familiar with it, and you feel like you should do something for them.
Pointedly, I will remind, for those who don't know, the description for goals are things you can accomplish this session.
Yes, specifically for this session.
Not long-term goals.
The goal, they give some examples here. I will discover what happened to Jorah. I will bring Jorah or her remains back to her parents. I will determine the source of the evil that stalks Skogenbee. I must drive out the source of evil. I must appease the spirits. I will loot this place for all it's worth. I will impress my companions with my bravery.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to switch one of those around. I will loot this place for as much as I can.
Oh, I look at this as a good challenge to determine sources of evil, sources of power, so I think I'll go with that one.
Okay.
I'll go with returning the child or her remains to her parents.
Okay.
What was her name?
Jorah. Jora.
Oh, like the mage from Magic the Gathering.
Ah. Sorry, it's been 20 years since I played Magic.
So we all have to pick a different goal?
No, you can have the same goals.
What goals are left?
I will discover what happened to Jorah. Drive out the evil. Appease the spirits of the dead. Or impress my companions with bravery. Or you can come up with one of your own.
I'll drive out the evil.
Okay.
And I wish to discover what became of Jorah so that we can prevent it happening to the other children or townsfolk.
The girl's dead.
Okay.
Now,
Oh,
we don't
I
know
say
that.
Allegedly.
loudly.
Oh, more than
There's always
likely.
hope.
But
Well, see, we
More
don't have
than
to use the word
likely.
allegedly. There's no lawman around here that's gonna get down on us for claiming one way or the other.
That Skogenbee is ruled over by Lady Gry. She is a knight in service to the local noble. Most
Okay.
times she is out in service and is a bit of an absentee parent.
Classic.
So she's useless, is what you're telling us.
Pretty much right now she's out on a campaign.
So the information that we've got, we know about what happened to the girl. I assume we already know where these, what was it, the tree got uprooted or something?
Yes, you are given directions to it, and none of the villagers actually want to go there right now.
Who told us all this information?
This was told to you by the town elders.
Anyone in particular, or just a group of them?
Germon is the village elder. And the one witness that is still around from the kids is Blythe.
That kid's gonna grow up to be a pirate.
So now I will hand it over to all of you.
Oh wait, the kid. Where's the kid at?
The kid Blythe is there with you now. If you would like to speak
Did you
with him.
see the hand that grabbed her? Child?
No. The tunnel going in is so overgrown that you have to crawl through, so I couldn't see past Jorah to see what grabbed her.
Any noises?
Just her screaming.
But beyond that,
No. That's all I could hear was her screaming. The kid starts to get upset. You can see some tears welling.
alright, I'm done with this kid.
Hey, maybe she just fell in.
How long was she down there, child, before she came back with the silver ring?
Not an hour.
Well,
Wait, the
don't you
child
worry.
came-
We're gonna find Jorah, your friend.
Who came back with a silver ring?
Jorah
Blythe.
did.
Blythe came. Jorah threw one of them out of the tunnel before
I
she
see.
came crawling out.
Yeah.
Blythe picked it up off the ground and brought it back with
Right,
him.
but Jorah got the ring, is what we're saying.
And
She
then-
got it, and Blythe had it. Can I investigate this ring? I guess I'll ask the elders or Blythe if he still has it.
I was actually gonna ask the same thing too.
Oh, okay.
He hands it over willingly. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He actually hopes that you will get rid of it, maybe.
Is there anything we can tell about it?
I will say go ahead, and you're going to do your first turn with a lore test. So what you're going to decide first off is who is actually going to be doing the actual lore reading on the ringlet and who is going to be helping. You can help if you have a skill that would be related to it or a wise.
Shrewd appraisal wise. Would that help?
There you go.
I I would say, what are you trying to determine about the ring? More of its manufacturer or more of its value?
More of its manufacture, like where it came from, like what culture's tells are on this.
Then I would say the appraisal would not be pertinent.
I am a lore master
As
of
am
2.
I. Oh, same.
I have 3 lore master, so
Nice.
Does
So
anybody
what
have
would
Scholar?
happen?
I have that as well.
Not you, though.
Oh,
You already have the
nice.
3 lore master. Every skill has a help skill with it. So,
Okay.
for instance, the help skill for lore master is Scholar.
And I am also permitted to add an additional skill that I deem is pertinent to the situation at hand.
If it is holy, I am a theologian.
No, I don't think that would apply. Scholar would apply.
Like
Lore Master
Dungeoneer?
would apply. No, I don't think so.
Found in a dungeon.
On this one, I would say probably just Lore or Scholar.
Tap my trap wise. This ring is a trap.
So let me ask this: can I make Scholar the main one? That way, lore could be used as a side one from somebody else.
Yes, what'll happen is anybody who is helping you simply adds 1 die to that roll.
Ah.
It's
How many
actually
people
going
can
to
help?
show up however many have the skills to help.
Oh, nice.
I got nothing, so I'll be sitting this one out.
Now, what to think about, I don't tell you what the actual obstacles of the test are, how many successes you need.
Right.
But if you have a whole bunch of dice, think about triggering one of your traits negatively so that you can get that check for camp. But you want to try and do that when you have a bunch of dice so that it may not hurt you.
So do we each add a dice? So if I'm 2, that's two dice, and then I would add 1 because I'm helping.
The person who is initially doing it rolls their full skill rating. Each person that helps adds 1 die.
Got it.
Yeah, so the helpers don't roll.
No.
All right, so I'm assuming because I guess I will take the ring. I say, can I see that for a moment? And so I'm gonna roll the Scholar. That I get like a +2 to the roll. So instead of it being a 3, it's a 5, basically.
Gonna happen, click that button,
All right, so I click the Scholar button.
and you should have a little box that comes up that says helpers.
Yep.
So you put
I
in
don't have the
however many.
scholar.
So however many people helped you, you add that number
Yeah.
in.
The thing is, you're not getting any help because no one else has Scholar.
Oh, so we're doing
Right.
lore then. Okay.
Yeah.
Either one of those can be used for a helper
All right. Well,
or
I'm sorry,
lore.
I misunderstood it. So
But
So-
then once you click OK on that, another box should come up stating the obstacle,
yes.
which is 2.
Okay.
So then when you
Mention-
roll,
So, I guess that's only 1 success then out of 2.
yes.
Did you add 2? Like, is that how? So you had 2, and then you added 2 because Theta and me helped you. Is that how
No.
it works?
No,
well,
it's
we didn't help
because-
though because we didn't have Scholar.
No, that's with your helps because I did lore.
Right. You did
Okay.
lore, and we would need Scholar to help you.
You can also help with lore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's all included. I just rolled like shit. So
Yeah, you need what 4s through 4, 5, and 6 to success. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that. You did. Wow.
yeah, so
I'm
you only
looking-
rolled 1 6.
I look at this ring and I'm thinking to myself, just looks like a trinket to me. We're probably better off just throwing it away or selling it for a quick $1 or a quick gold or whatever. Yeah, do you want it back?
Made out of metal. And that will click the first turn. So we are at turn 2.
Yep. I said, I give the ring back to our halfling friend. You do what you want with it. Throw it away, wear it. I don't care.
Just realized something. You're going to need to re-roll.
Am I?
You are fresh. When
Oh,
everybody starts off from town, you are considered fresh. That gives an extra die to every roll. I need you to.
So I basically roll another d6.
Yes.
You want me to just add it there right now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Aha!
Nice.
That is much better now. What you can determine from that ringlet, it is an arm ring made to go up around the bicep, so it's obviously for an adult. Looks like somebody who had a little beef on them, judging by the diameter of it. It is very old, hundreds of years old. There are, however, no other markings on the circlet.
Well, it's far too big for me to wear. It is quite pretty, though.
Yes, we should probably just hold on to that ring then. Maybe we could just sell it for scrap later.
So you need to have a spot on your body to carry it, correct?
Yes.
All right.
So if you're going to be carrying it, it needs to either go onto a worn spot or into a backpack or a sack or something.
I will, since I got a worn spot, here's what I'll do. I'll take the thing and I'll actually tie it next to the bag I have for my spell supplies. Because you said it's big and goes over somebody's bicep. I probably could wear it, but I was assuming I'm kind of skinnier and
Just put it
scrawnier.
on your head.
I could put it over my head.
It's made for a beefy arm, right? So it's got to be pretty big. And if it's round, just sit on your head like a crown.
I wouldn't say it's that beefy.
Okay, look, anything that's round and of that shape, you can just put on your head like a crown. It'll be a tiny crown, like a McDonald's crown. Sorry, a Burger King crown. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I would like a crown, but I would rather earn it first, thank you.
Well, that's heresy. You're gonna die.
So I'm wearing the silver ring thing on one of my hand slots, okay? For now.
Okay.
Like a real loose bangle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so that was your first turn.
All right, I'm getting the flow of this now, I think. It makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
that is what you gained looking at the circlet as you're standing in the village. The elder and the child are still there. What are you going to do?
Is there like a, God, probably not, library?
No.
Is there
This is
where do the elders stay?
in their houses. I would consider this a large farmstead.
Right, but I mean, is there God, where would you keep records of the past? Is there any records of the past anywhere?
Yeah, the stories they tell around fires.
Who's the best storyteller?
Folklore.
That would be one of the village elders.
Can we ask the village elder if he knows what this is? This arm ringlet?
Oh, no, sorry, I'm not asking about the arm ring. I want to ask about the area where it was found. Do you know of some? Do they used to tell tales of things that were over there?
There were no tales that have been told about any of it. We thought that was nothing more than a hill. But then again, the mountains are right here, and the mountains are honeycombed with tunnels, so you never know.
Some sort of new threat coming to this small town.
Well, I don't think we're going to get anything else about these guys. It's just a known unknown. What do you guys think we need for underground work?
Light and some luck.
Well, I've brought the luck.
Well, I see you've also brought a lantern, apparently.
Oh, indeed, my lucky lantern.
And I've got 3 torches. How much do you guys have in the way of light sources?
I also have some torches. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm worried about it. I'm asking you. I'm literally looking at your face right now, and I'm asking you how many torches you have.
Oh, 4.
4. Wait, they come in packs of 3, Robert.
I thought they came in packs of 4.
Do they? Hold on, let me just double check. I think I wrote down 3 on my sheet, so
Unless if I misread that thing wrong. I could have misread.
Yeah, you're right. There are
wrong.
4. Okay, I just want to make sure that I didn't miss one torch on myself.
Yeah, that could be very important later on.
Yeah, I got torches in the tinderbox.
Do you have oil for that lamp, Max?
I have 2 flasks. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I assume a flask is 1 period of torch illumination, or lamp illumination. But that's an assumption. I don't really know. Maybe, Theta, could you mouse over the lantern card again for me? Thanks.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to say, what was you were just looking for in the equipment?
Nothing, we covered it.
Okay.
So if you were trying to talk on my screen, you're like a shadow. So I know what your outline is, and that's it.
Is that better?
My problem is I'm also looking at you on my darkest screen, so it's not a...
Okay.
You're probably fine if I looked at Discord. I have to cover a lot of windows, though.
All right.
I think the last question was, how long does an oil in a lantern last? Just for the full duration, right?
Yes.
3 turns. Yeah.
3 turns.
Right. So right now I have 6 turns worth of lantern light.
Right, so we have, assumedly, to the best of my knowledge, plenty of light. Anything else you think of that we might need on an expedition down there?
Well, like I said, we would need some luck, but if we were going to be more practical, food would be a good idea.
Oh, Amnon, why don't you go out and buy some luck for us? Once you figure out where you can buy that from, get back to me.
I don't need to buy luck. Thank you very much.
Sure. Can you just write me into your will real quick?
I'll go on the food run.
Do you already have rations?
I have 3 rations.
Okay.
As do I.
All right.
I have a ration.
Same.
I'm the only one who brought no rations, but
The cook
I
brought
can
no
cook.
food.
Indeed.
I was going to
Perfect.
say that is something you need to take into account when you're doing your starting equipment. So if you want to change that now, go ahead, because you won't be able to get rations here. You would have to go and scavenge for food.
Right, well, again, hunger being the first condition you typically get hit by, and the easiest to get rid of with food. I basically, in the meta, layered myself down with healing potions.
Pretty
I
much.
do have some scavenging, but I'm going to have to drop the rope, probably. So we won't have rope going in.
I have rope.
You got... Okay, cool. So then I'm going to drop my rope, which is 2 slots, and I'll grab a slot of rations and more oil for my lamp.
All right.
And the preserved rations are 3, right? That's like 1 is 3.
Yes.
Or is, okay.
What do you mean 1 is
And-
3?
Like you get 3 preserved rations, 3 meals and it takes up 1 slot.
Oh, do you? Okay, well then I'm in.
Yeah.
I guess that means I have 9 meals.
And if you have
Jesus.
somebody who can cook, you can make a cooking test and turn 1 serving of rations into a meal for the entire.
I didn't realize that the preserved were 3 in 1. I thought I was just buying 3. Or buying, you know what I mean.
You got a lot of food on you then, basically.
Well, yeah, it's important.
Okay, so
I mean, if the name of the game might be Torchbearer, but it might as well be Hunger Management.
the resource management game. Okay, so you are standing in the village, having a discussion and inspecting this circlet ring. What is everyone doing?
Well, I guess if we have all the supplies, maybe we should head out and get this over with.
Yeah, I mean, Not much else to it, but to do it.
Hopefully find young Yora.
She's dead.
Look,
Well, we may disagree on that, but the less time we waste, the better her chances.
Well, look, I'm just saying, but maybe don't waste resources trying to find a dead child.
she may be dead, but we still need to go in there and figure out what's going on anyway.
No,
So
we need
let's
to get
try
down
out
there and find all the loot. That's what we need to do.
You're atrocious, the both of you.
Look, she's already
I have-
underground. Consider her buried. It's done. Now,
I have
how
noticed
much
that
gold
this
is there?
game builds a lot of inter-party role play.
Look, I defined my character fairly well during creation. When there's danger, I run. I have the trait.
Amen.
I have the trait greedy. Oh,
Thought you got rid of that.
well, it's in my head. If I did,
A lot of people act like mechanics and roleplay cannot coexist, but I beg to differ. I think one definitely informs the other.
I'm very base. I'm base. If I think I'm greedy, fuck it. I'm greedy. I'm in for the money.
Oh yeah.
But Harrick, Klingder, what do you think?
Well, I'm certainly all for returning the child to her parents in whatever state we find her in. The loot will be nice, but I consider that a secondary benefit.
Are you crazy? This is literally how we survive. If you don't get the loot, you're gonna starve to death.
Oh, very good. Very good. Wolf's got the money covered, and we got the little girl here with the torch and the food. Let's just get going.
Truer words have never been spoken. All right, follow me. Actually, I don't know where we're going. Roar.
Let's skip.
Blythe is actually pointing you off into the direction just outside of the village heading towards the mountain. You can actually see the hill with the tree sitting on top of it.
Oh, good. We don't have to search for it.
No, you do not.
No, they literally told us where it was. And then he pointed it to us when you decided you were gonna lead the way.
Yes, then follow me then. And I walk all the way to the tree with everybody else, I assume.
Yes.
No, the
Yeah,
four
it's
of us
a
have
short
decided
trek.
today that we're just gonna watch you do this adventure.
Oh, I'm so dead.
As you approach the hill, you can see the tree standing atop the tunnel. The entrance is formed with a stonework dolmen. You can see that there are runes etched into the stonework.
Hmm.
The tunnel itself is rather narrow. All of you would be able to fit through there, but it is a tight squeeze.
Do I recognize the runes around the archway there?
I
You
guess if
most
you
certainly can. Uh, looking at the runes, you can tell that it's a very ancient language. You know that only the elves would know about this language normally, but you would be able to probably figure out with your Wisdom of the Sages spell.
Why, I think that's something I can do. Alright, so how does, I guess, the spell casting work here? Same sort of thing with the test roll and whatnot?
Is correct, and it'll be Arcana, and people can help you.
Arcanist, you mean, right?
Arcana,
Yeah, you
sorry.
said Arcana. I was like, ooh, wrong game. I guess, how can they help? What would be the,
Have the appropriate skill, which would be Arcanist. If no one has it, you would have to make the roll on your own.
Alrighty then. Does anybody have Arcanus, or is it just me?
I don't have it.
Not
The
I.
suggested help for Arcanist is Lore Master.
Does anyone have Lore Master?
A bunch of us.
Well, there we
It's
go.
the same. Literally, you'd be rolling the same roll you just made before, except with Arcanist as your base.
Yeah, my Arcanist is a higher base.
Nice.
Oh, almost forgot something to remember. Anytime you make a skill test, mark down on the character sheet if you passed or failed.
Do we
that
all
is,
or just him?
Just the person who makes the
We're
roll.
power leveling Robert right now by having him do all the rolls.
Yep.
Yeah, power level the wizard is a smart move, to be fair.
So yeah, you have what +2 from me and Dennis's character. You're freshly rested, so it's another +1.
So that's 3 for the modifier with a 4, so that's 7d6 I'm rolling.
And the obstacle is 2.
Alright, watch me fail this still.
Yes.
You did it.
Alright, we did it.
Success. You are able to translate most of the room. Some of it was a little damaged from time and the elements, but you can make out that it's a tomb for someone named Hathor Vash. The next part's a little damaged. They were a chieftain, maybe a priest, somebody important. But the tomb is one that she and her people were put in alive trying to become a god.
As you do.
And that is all that the runes say. Sorry, one other thing at the very bottom. Of course, it talks about the potent curses upon the tomb for any who enter. That is.
Oh, lovely.
Who believes in curses in this day and age?
Witches, warlocks.
I give Maxima a look. You know, the kind of look that says, you know who.
She brushes it off with her typically chipper demeanor and says, "Well, then, you babies, I'll be going first, I suppose."
Sure. I was going to offer to prod my way with my 10-foot pole and make sure everything was ship-shape, but yeah, live human sacrifice. Good for me.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see. Maxima will be first to go down. I promise. This is my personal player goal.
Okay, the passage, as soon as you start to get into the passage, your body's blocking off enough light that it's starting to become rather hard to see. I'm going to consider it dim light at the moment.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry, real quick.
Yes.
Since we left town so quickly, obviously I eat a silver coin.
Oh.
As I do.
I believe that is only considered for the actual town phase.
It says specifically... Hold on. Oh, here's my sheet. Bloodline, Hunger of the Wolf. As a consequence, blah, 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 elements are precious. If a wolfkin does not consume the allotted treasure, they gain the afraid or another condition of the GM's choosing each time they leave a town until they starve and die. It just says leave a town.
Okay, I would say do it like that then, but we'll keep track of that one too and see how it goes.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know how I mark down money when my money is in dice. Do I just get rid of a die?
How much money do you have on hand? Any?
2D.
Okay, so you would just mark off 1D.
I'm actively eating the treasure.
How do you know how much money you have on hand?
You had to have it during the character creation. I made a choice that got me 2D for, I think, not having a mentor.
Yeah, I think so. So,
I had just realized that I didn't say that out loud when we left town, and we were still in that little middle area where I was like, oh, I did it. I did. I ate food. Money. I ate money.
So, Maxima, do you continue going into the tunnel with the dim light? You can see ahead, it opens up a bit, but then it gets really dark and you can't see any further.
Yeah. I assume I'm using my lantern, so we're beginning the turn count for that, right? And yes, I will say, I'll whisper. It looks like it opens up a bit up ahead, so we'll just press forward then, and I'll make my way to the open chamber.
If you continue in that far, you will go into complete darkness.
Ooh. Okay.
Right
So
now, you're kind of only halfway in that tunnel. You kind of started poking in, see it's kind of dark in there, and it gets a lot darker when it starts to open up.
right. So tell me about this. I assume that means that it's basically the chamber is larger than the range that my lantern would carry, so I would still not see much ahead, or I just can't see much ahead right now, so I'd be walking into
It is
unknown territory.
it is going beyond the light coming from. Well, actually, you started up your lantern, you said?
Yeah. If we're going into the dark, then someone's gonna need some sort of light.
Yeah, it's just getting to the edge of your lantern light is where it's opening up.
Got it. Well, if our choices are turn back now or see what the chamber is like, I'm gonna press forward.
Okay.
Who's right behind you?
I'm going to. So I'm going to say, well, since no one else will, I guess I'll go with the girl, and I'll push into it
The dead one
when
or the
she
halfling?
says. But
Well, you haven't
just
found
give-
that one yet.
It's been a
I just
week.
give you a look.
After you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Of course.
Go next.
As Maxima continues in, you start making your way into the tight little passageway. It's earth in here. It's dank and wet. There's roots coming through the top of the tunnel from the tree above. You can make out, though, that there's something wrong with those roots. It looks like they have lesions and strange sap falling out of it.
Ugh.
Okay.
As you get in further, you can see that the room does open up into another tunnel that is much larger. It looks like this is actually a finished tunnel, like blockwork.
Maxima will point out these roots and ask if anyone has ever seen anything like them before. Klingerdin, perhaps? You've spent some time underground, I assume?
I figured these were the roots from the tree.
Sure, but don't you think there's something strange about them? They look blighted somehow?
This might be more of a call for our cleric than for an armorer. I know nothing of trees. The wood makes good halves for weaponry, but other than that, a tree is a tree.
That would be a lore master test to try and figure out what's going on with the roots.
I don't really want to.
Hey, I'm
I
not.
don't.
Get over here.
I'll do it.
No, let somebody else have some fun, and I will assist on that. Like, I don't know trees, but I do know about different diseases. Perhaps maybe I could help with that.
That's a weird thing to say.
I don't know. It sounds like it's like probably like something that's diseased or blighted or whatever. But
Well, yeah, that's what's interesting about the tree.
But there are lesions in it. Oh, I'll take a look.
all you, Harak, and I will assist you.
And is that it?
No, of course, I'm assisting.
I have no lore master. I'm uniquely useless.
I assume at some point I just appear in front of you guys because
Oh, you joined us. Very good.
yeah, somehow I went from almost volunteering to go first to last in the row. But yeah, you have +2
So
from
it's just
us,
two-
and you're fresh. So it's
So it's
another
just-
+1.
So it's
Correct.
3?
Should be, yeah. Plus your lore master.
Right.
Now remember, if you have a lot of dice, it might be a good time to trigger a trait to get a check for later on.
Okay, so how does that work exactly?
So you would look at your traits. Which ones do you have?
Sacred, proud, quick-witted, and loner.
Do you think there's a way you could apply any of those to this test in a way that would be detrimental? Maybe your proudness is making you hard-headed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my proudness is making me hard-headed. Of course, they're just roots. This isn't anything.
All right, so that would be one less die.
So, okay.
And
So
the
it's just
obstacle on that would be 2.
okay. So 2 die and then 2
Well,
obstacles.
you need 2 successes. That's if you want to trigger the trait. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah,
Well,
sure. I'll trigger the tree.
Well, it's just one less die, though. So, like, you still get the assist from the
Should
two
still
of
be
us.
4
So,
dice total, right?
yeah.
Plus, if
Ha-
we fail this one, what's the big deal? We don't know about tree disease, so it's a safe one to risk it on, I guess.
Mhm.
Apply
So there's
some kind of twist to it.
2 obstacle, right?
Yes.
And I fail.
Ooh.
See? It's just a tree with marks on it.
All right. I'm going to make this easy. The only complication of the failed roll is going to be that you don't get any of the information from it.
Okay. And I put that down as one of my failed checks.
That is correct.
And
You will
was this a-
advance. What's that?
Sorry, this counts as another turn, right?
Yes. So you are now on, I believe,
Turn 4.
turn. No, this should be turn 3.
Everyone be
Okay.
glued to their seats as we try to figure out what's wrong with a tree.
and I also click the used against, right, in my proud.
Yes.
Okay.
And for skills, they will advance. If I remember correctly, it's when you have marked off 1 more than your skill rating in passes and 1 less in failures.
Okay.
But yes, you look at the roots. You really can't make anything out other than there's something wrong with them. Try not to get any sap on your clothing as you kind of squeak past them. Continuing down the passage.
Press on, girl.
All right. Less trees ahead, and we'll step towards the more finished stonework.
All right. Making it through the passage is relatively easy. You don't come across anything strange. As you approach where it opens, you can make out a long, narrow passage. It's honeycombed with small niches, each set with a skull. They're all yellowed and faded with age, covered with dust. There's a air of menace hanging in the air, almost like a inaudible hum. The northern passage is an opening, and 4 shadowy alcoves in the southern wall, each an arch formed from human thigh bones with the skull as the keystone. And I can switch these over to the map page real quick.
Give me some granite to build my places with. Why build with bones? They'll just shatter.
Aye, and the effect is quite grim and unsettling, although perhaps that was the intended purpose.
I mean, there's other practical applications to use bone, however. You've never you
Pure
never used
plants.
bone. Well, I was thinking more ornamentation.
Okay, everybody is on the map page now?
Yes.
Okay. On the map, the areas 1 and 2 are the very small passage section that you had to crawl through. The long corridors just in front of you. The 2 openings on the northern wall is the north would be the left-hand wall.
Can we stand? Am I able to stand in the
Once
passage?
you get into the larger hall where it opens up, yes, you can stand. The ceiling there probably stands at around 7 feet tall or so.
Should we put our tokens down or something, or
What we can do, just put down 1 token. There isn't a real tactical or management, a tactical or measuring type thing.
all right, so I guess we're going in like the first door we see to the left.
Hold on a second here. Let me get her out. I actually can't control her, apparently.
That is interesting. I think Roll20 has done some updates, because it's not how I remember it working.
What?
Can somebody pull one of their tokens off and put it in? There you go. But yeah, that is the area that has been open to you right now. We're going to say that you are still by the right where the smaller passage starts to open up into the larger.
Right. Okay. All right. So we've got, we've got a few options then, don't we?
Which one's the most practical, I guess, would be the question.
Well, what I'm more curious about is, are there any signs that the girl went a particular way?
I was just about to ask about drag marks.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is indeed a good question. There is actually a rule in the book that is called a good idea. If you come up with something that isn't marked down in the module or anything I have written down and you come up with it, I call it a good idea, and it doesn't burn up a turn with any
All
test you
right.
do concerning it. Uh, that sounds like it would be Scout.
I've got 2
Would
in Scout.
would delving or burn of earth and stone help with this roll?
Um, those are your traits, correct?
Well, born of earth and stone is a trait, and delving isn't my nature.
Uh, if you are making the roll yourself, you can use that trait to help. But if you're helping, then you can't use the trait.
What's
I have
your Scout?
2.
I got 2 in Scout too.
I too have a 2 in Scout too.
I have a 0.
And
maybe-
for your nature descriptor, that would apply if you are going to fall back and make that roll with your nature as opposed to a skill.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that
Okay.
wouldn't count, but how about born of earth and stone, since we are in a tunnel made of stone?
I would say yes, but you're only going to be able to use one of the traits, I believe.
Well, that's my only other trait besides fearless.
Okay,
So
so
that's
you would
why-
be using the Born of Earth and Stone, and then you wanted to also use
Scout.
Okay. So, yeah, you would just check off the use of the Born of Earth and Stone, and then you would get to add 1 die to your roll, if that's what you were doing.
Okay, I'll type that in as used 4.
And don't forget
Okay.
us helping. I think most of us have Scout as well.
So how many people are helping?
So you're getting a +3
Raise your
from
hands,
help and
one
a
for me.
+1 from fresh. So you have +4.
Six.
Nice.
Oh man, 3 6s and 3 1s. That's beautiful.
Wow.
That is as binary as you get.
Right? You didn't put the obstacle in there. You clicked the button too quick, but that's okay. It was just an obstacle of 2,
Oh, I'm
which
sorry.
means that you would have made it. That's okay. You do indeed find footprints. Let me check real quick here.
I am assuming I don't keep quote unquote use 4 under my traits selected after I've rolled. That's only for rolling.
I'm sorry, say that again.
When I clicked use 4 under next to Born of Earth and Stone, I now unclick that because that is a bonus that gets added to my skill or whatever I roll.
No, you
When I don't,
clicked it when you used it,
yes.
and you don't unclick it until you start the next session.
Oh, okay. That means I can only use it once then, right?
Yes.
All
The
right.
next session starts and that clears up and you can use it again. But you do indeed see footprints leading down the corridor. Let me see. How do you ping on Roll20?
Click left, click and hold.
There you go. Footprints head. Come on. Down towards the second passage on the northern wall. So they go all the way. Yeah, thank you. For some reason, I'm not.
You know,
Pinging.
you have to have the pointer tool selected. So sometimes, like if you have the ruler tool or something else, it won't work for you.
Okay, that might be it then. I'll have to check my options.
Yeah, so clicking on a point down the hallway. There's marks leading this way.
And that is going to be another turn.
I thought you said that wasn't going to be a turn because it was
Yeah,
a good
sorry.
idea.
You are correct.
Just checking my oil rations.
So we are still on turn 3.
I'll burn a torch if need be for us too. That'll help some of it.
Now
Yep.
then, you have what looks like 3 niches on the southern wall and 2 openings on the northern walls.
When you
You're
say
still
niches, like, is there like is it like an alcove that we could literally like climb up on or something? Or
an alcove, yes, but the floor is level with the floor of the corridor. So it could
interesting.
even be 4 narrow corridors.
This is a tomb, right?
Yeah.
You think so?
And if I remember, the inscription said that what was the name?
Hey,
Probably,
Thor Vash.
yeah, that name, because I don't know how to spell it. That Hathor Vash was buried. Somebody important who was buried here alive with her people. Do you suspect that perhaps maybe these alcoves are those that were buried alive?
Could be.
Do you think they're still alive?
Maybe not in the sense that I'm alive. They may still be mobile.
Perhaps we should just be ready, because I have a feeling we're going to have to make sure that they don't get up again. You know what I mean?
Maxima does know what you mean, gives an affirmative nod, and then takes one deliberate step behind someone who's bigger and has a weapon out.
That's
So I get out. I get my warhammer out in one hand and my shield in the other, and I press forward.
Okay. Where he's going towards the. Okay, you're going to go all the way down.
Yeah.
Going past that first opening, you can see that it's going to open up into a large room. Stop right there. As you start approaching the niches, alcoves, maybe passageways, they are alcoves with tombs set in them.
I knew it.
And coming out of them are some very old skeletons, clicking and clacking as they start walking towards you.
Hmm.
Ach, the curse was real.
Oh, they're just skeletons. We can beat them.
It's just
I
like the
think.
old gypsy woman said.
It sounds like we're in some sort of combat type scenario, and I forget how that works.
Well, you're not quite in a combat scenario yet.
Yeah, so we could talk to the skeletons.
We could run from the skeletons.
We could run. I don't know how fast talking. I don't know how talking will help us, but we could try.
If you're planning on talking to the skeletons, they don't appear to be very good conversationalists.
Can we run past them?
Absolutely. I think somebody may actually have an instinct that would help with that.
I'm not in danger. I said deadly situation. You guys have put me at the back of the party, so I have 4 bodies in front of me. Not dangerous yet.
Okay. But yes, if you wanted to, you could have a flee conflict to try and get away. But I will tell you what, these could make a group roll. Each of you make a roll. It'll only count as one turn.
Okay.
All of us roll.
All of you are going to make a roll. It's only going to be one turn. And the roll is going to be. Let me check, see if there's a skill that applies. For some kind of running.
I could see scout, maybe. Criminal, fingers crossed, would be fine.
To default to health.
I mean,
Okay.
I thought Herrick just stepped forward with a shield and a warhammer, so I didn't expect you all to start running.
I thought we were gonna fight these things.
Well, I thought about it.
Let's fight.
I mean, you got yourself all ready for a fight, and now it seems like we're heavily considering running for some reason.
I mean, I just suggested running because that's kind of Maxima's go-to against skeletons. But yeah, if you guys want to fight this, let's fight it.
I'm standing in the back with a 10-foot pole.
Maybe you should be closer to the middle or front so you can fight.
No, you guys. Again, I am the Pathfinder scout guy, and the little halfling decided she wanted to die first, so I'm letting her take over my job. Don't know why the cook wanted to test for all the traps with her body weight, but...
Alright, so, health-wise, I have a 2 in my health, so I'm just gonna point that out right now, so...
Do you have a wise?
For wine?
Do you have
As it
a
turns
trait
out,
that would help?
in life, these skeletons were wine connoisseurs, and you.
Do I have a trait that would help? The only traits I have is the wizard sight and extravagant.
Okay.
Well, I can say that I guess I could use it against me if I really wanted to, just to make it harder. That's if we run, though. So just FYI.
Because you have. Yes, you would just have to roll for health. These
If
things
we
are kind of slow and lumbering. The obstacle on getting away from them is going to be 2.
so we would just roll for health, and if we get over 2, we run past them, and if not,
That is correct.
then we fight.
Then you fight.
So should I just roll first and see what happens? Because it's probably going to be based off of me.
I guess so, yes. Well, actually, I'm going to see how many people succeed or fail. Then I'm going to decide what happens.
Okay, so then here I'll roll my health then.
Well, first, I'm going to say, are we running?
I'm fighting.
I think this is getting confusing because I feel like our GM is set up that we're gonna see if we can outrun them, and then anyone who fails will be in a fight. But if we all just decide to fight, we could skip that.
Yeah, here's the
phase.
thing. What is it that everybody... Well, actually, I forgot something that'll make this easier. The game uses 2 roles among the players. One is the cartographer, which you've already figured out who's doing that. The other one is the leader of the adventure. That's usually the person that digs up the lead. No one dug up the lead, so you are going to decide amongst yourselves who is the adventure leader.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Only one of us is actually an adventurer.
Well,
That's a
no,
very
it's
fair point.
just the person who is leading the group.
That was
for
an
this
in character.
adventure.
That was an in character observation. That only one of us is actually going out there and, hey, what's your career? I'm an adventurer.
Yeah, I like the idea from a mechanics side, this idea that like every adventure, one of the PCs is sort of like the patron of that adventure. Like, hey, I found us this gig. Let's go do it. And then they get to kind of like call the shots over the course. That's a cool concept. I
Like a
don't
throwback to old D&D.
Interesting. That's yeah. I've never played OG D&D, but so I guess the role of the adventurer you're saying is the one who would make a call like this in a situation where the party was split.
Basically, you talk amongst yourselves as much as you want. The only thing I listen to is the party leader when it comes to
I was
doing
just pushing the
that.
adventurer forward as that person because he's literally a fucking adventurer. I'm never going to be in charge. I'm the cartographer. I've put myself in constant second place.
You can't keep having the same person as the leader. It's something that is supposed to be switched off so everybody gets an opportunity.
I like that.
There's also a leader during conflict that does about the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay, well, do we want our dwarf, and I'm sorry because your name is just really hard to stick in my head, Klingender?
Klingerden.
Actually,
Close
close.
enough.
Klingerden. I was close. You're the dungeoneer, right? So why
Yeah.
don't you want to play a leader for now?
All right.
I nominate Klingerden, and yeah, and my vote would be run, but I'm willing to be outvoted here if you guys want to combat.
Well, I think Klingon made it very clear he's staying and fighting, so I think the choice has been made.
Yeah, all I'm saying is if one of you dies, that's a bigger share for the rest of us.
Yep.
Now, one thing on that I will put out there. The only conflict where you are risking actual character death is a kill conflict. If you go into, say, a conflict to drive the skeletons off, you can be hurt. You can walk away with a whole bunch of conditions. You could have damaged equipment, but you will be alive.
That's very interesting. So this goes to the very nature of the game. Is there ways to die outside of conflict, or is it just that death is not a very important part of the game?
If you follow your conditions down, you're hungry and thirsty, then you're what? Angry, exhausted, sick, injured, and then dead.
Gotcha. So you can
So
just be
if
ground down to it.
and that is usually what happens is you get ground down to meat paste as opposed to dying a sudden horrible death.
Got it. Okay, cool.
And with that, Herrick votes for running. We're not here for the skeletons. We're here for the girl.
The skeletons are in our way.
Not yet.
Also, if you run past them, they're just going to be in your way again.
That's fine. They're on the other side, though.
Yeah, between us and the exit.
We'll deal with that when the time comes.
Oh, you're one of those people. I'm going to leave this for a future Herrick to handle.
This is a future Herrick problem.
Well, I defer to the leader at this point, but I'm not against running.
It's still the leader's call. I'm good either way.
How hard can 4 skeletons be?
Yeah, let's throw down.
Famous last words. I'm just pointing that out.
I've already
Who's
drawn
it?
my hammer.
Oh, I guess I can stab them with a dagger.
Dagger for myself as well.
I'll just be back here near the exit.
So we are going to fight?
I lift my hammer up. We fight!
Okay.
So kind of the
real-
skeletons just stand around and do nothing during deliberations.
Yeah, we're having this long conversation. The skeletons are just crawling out of the crypt.
They're looking at each other like, won't these guys make a fucking decision already?
Right.
Now, we could jump into combat and go over conflict. The time, however, for me here in Albuquerque is 11:52, which would make it, what, 1:52?
Yep.
Not sure on how you want to work that data.
I mean, it's the last 8 minutes. Unless you think you can get the fight done in 8 minutes. I don't know. It's up to you. I have no concept.
Where you'd have to go over the process of it, so I'm not sure if we would get it finished this week.
The great cliffhanger. Will they fight? Won't they?
Weapons drawn out, staring each other down, piece of tumbleweed blows across the corridor.
Order is all the way back near the exit, so...
Well, you'll be fine either way then.
Yeah.
However, we can spend a few minutes. We have the couple end of session things to do. See here. Page 104. Okay. So, first and foremost, do we feel that everybody held to their belief?
I forget what everybody's beliefs were, to be
The
honest
whole
with you.
world is wrong but me.
It could always be worse, so keep your head down and your spirits up. I think that Maxima is holding out hope that this girl is still alive despite all of her very cynical teammates.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mark down a fate point for that.
I'm not sure. I could make an argument for I am a man of wealth and taste. that the ring that was taken out of the crypt is completely useless and is barely worth the gold or silver it's made out of.
Okay, mark a fate point for that. I'll give it to you.
Alrighty.
Anyone else think they accomplished their belief?
Well, I mean, my belief is there's always a way, so I was willing to run or stay.
Yeah,
Right, so that
absolutely.
where do you mark
Anybody
that
else?
down?
Upper right.
Got
Very
it.
upper right of the sheet.
Yeah, at the top of the sheet, there's a thing that says fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, fate and persona.
My belief is never settle for good enough, and I think going in there with the goal of trying to save the girl, that's like he's got his hopes up for that, is like holding out for the better option, basically.
All right, I'll give that to you. Mark off a fate point.
All right.
And goals. If we feel we accomplished our goals, that's a persona point. Do we feel we accomplished personal goals?
Well, is Herna, whatever her name is, the evil that's bothering Skogenbee?
You don't know that yet, so I'd have to say no.
Then I have not accomplished a goal yet.
Okay. Most of you probably don't accomplish a goal. Did anybody trigger an instinct?
Well, it's it. Just want to double check something here because we've already proven that my book is odd and weird in some places.
Okay.
It also says if you work towards accomplishing your goal but didn't accomplish it, you earn a fate point.
Oh.
Just want to make sure it's not my book being weird again.
Nope, you are right on that.
It's
Then
too
that-
early to say, though, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're working towards it, though. Well, I don't know. We
Yeah,
all
you're
have different
working
goals.
towards it.
I came down here,
Yeah.
so obviously I'm here for my looting goal. So I'm working towards it. I assume Robert is working towards, was it identifying the source of evil?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, so you're working towards it. You read the thing. You suspect.
I'll even say that trying to figure out if something was up with the lesions on the root would even be trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So, yes.
So yeah, arguably, I don't know what the rest of your goals are, but arguably, if it had something to do with here, you came here and we're doing stuff here, so you're working towards it.
That is correct.
I'll
So
take it.
if we feel we accomplished our goals, go ahead and check. And I do defer to players a lot on these things. Try and make it a group discussion.
That's perfectly fine.
Instincts. Did anybody trigger an instinct?
That I did not for me, because I'm not learning any new spells right now.
I avoided using it.
Okay, if you triggered an instinct and it worked to the betterment of the group, you can... Hold on, make sure I'm telling you to mark off the right thing. A fate point.
Now,
Okay.
mine is I'm always first in line to face the enemies of dwarven kind. So I'm guessing I haven't triggered that yet because the fight hasn't quite started.
Okay. Now, do we feel that anybody was the MVP of this session?
I mean, didn't Seth end up doing all of our initial rolls for Lore Master?
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. I was actually going to make an argument for you because you're really pushing the bubbly personality of like going in first and just trying to find that kid. So
I think that may actually fall under something else.
Well, Robert,
Embodiment, I think that
Amnon.
would fall under.
Amnon read the thing on the dome, right?
yeah,
As a result of a roll that you made, right?
yeah. Is that what that is, or
MVP
something?
award goes to the player who made the crucial roll so the party could face down the big problem by setting it in the session. We've only had one problem and one roll related to it. I think
you're
there
the
can be
clutch
no
guy.
other.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I agree.
We sent Robert to
Okay,
the
and
jungle to level.
Okay, so the MVP gets a persona point.
Nice.
Do we who do we think was the team worker?
You have to define that one.
A player who worked the hardest to keep the group together and in good shape earns a persona point.
I think this is difficult because it's such a short session, because half of our session was making characters.
I would say vote on it then.
Well, it can't be Robert because you cannot earn MVP and team worker.
I nominate Maxima on this one, mostly because of what I said previously, like the attitude and the jumping in first stuff.
I'm gonna have to step in because the next one is who embodies the character the most, and that's Maxima.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
fair
Maxima.
enough. Fair
you.
enough. Fair
Okay.
enough.
I'll take it.
If you want to, you can vote on who's going to be the team worker for the session, and just do it that way.
I mean, I think the team worker for this section was Robert.
But he can't get it because he can't be
Why?
MVP and team worker.
Why not?
What's the rules?
Yeah.
The group decides who gets this reward, and only one player per session can receive it. You cannot earn MVP and team worker.
Oh, then can we skip it?
Well,
And
then
nobody
you're giving
gets
up.
it?
Well, you don't want to
But it's-
do that because then you're giving up a persona
Many-
point.
I appreciate that you think Robert has done everything, and none of us are worthy of anything.
I didn't say that.
You
I
literally
didn't
said,
say
"Can
that.
we skip it? Can nobody get it?" It's what you
Well,
said. It's
I did
Robert
say that we
or
could skip it,
fucking
yeah.
no one. All these assholes, including myself, are not worthy at this point.
Well,
I
I'm
will
going off
nominate
of the shortened
Dennis.
section.
I want to nominate Dennis because Dennis was like, hey, let's keep this moving. Let's go investigate. I mean, I think it's kind of rough because it was a short session and not a lot of people had a lot of opportunity to do stuff this
Right.
session.
And I agree
But-
with that, and I think no one should get it.
Well,
Because of that.
someone has to get it, so
Someone has to get it, yeah.
I will second it and say Dennis gets it.
Give
Ah,
it to Dennis.
what do I get?
All right.
A persona. point.
You get a persona point.
All right, thank you very much.
This has to be explained. What is Fate and Persona points? Because I don't know what they do.
That was actually going to be the next thing here.
Okay.
It's easier to explain things in this game as you go along.
By the way, did anybody play against their belief? Because that was also part of the section that we just skipped over.
That's interesting. So you can also get points by playing against your established character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
In a dramatic fashion, though.
I had a player do something that would have checked that box playing Dungeon World the other week when the cowardly rogue jumped off of a balcony with their sword and did the killing blow to a beholder down below.
Nice.
Oh dear.
So, let me get back to this.
Yeah, so does anybody think?
Against their belief? I don't think so.
No.
I mean, I think.
I mean, I would argue myself, but I didn't do it in a dramatic fashion, so
What was your belief?
that I'm right and everyone else is wrong.
But you didn't do against it. Like, you think the girl is dead, and you kind of just
No,
dismissed
I
everybody else.
let the little halfling go in first when I'm standing here with a 10-foot pole and I'm the pathfinding scout map maker guy.
Oh, okay,
I didn't
okay.
voice any concerns or anything. I just fuck it, go ahead. So
What's the group think on that?
Does that count as dramatic, though?
that's what I said. I,
guess
don't think it's
That's
dramatic.
my question. All right, so I'll say a no
I
on
passive
the
aggressive
first
my
one.
way through playing against
Right.
my belief.
And now the fate and persona points. You use the fate points to trigger different types of your uses of wises, as well as let me see. On the wises, you can spend a fate point for deeper understanding and re-roll any single failed die. You can use it for, of course, which is That one you spend a persona point and re-roll all failed dice. You can also, let me see, spend, I believe it is a fate point when you are helping somebody. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's for skills. If you're helping somebody and using a skill, I believe you can spend a fate point and you can mark off that skill as if you were making the roll yourself on the pass or fail. Persona points. You can spend 1 point to add 1 die to a roll, and you can keep doing that. You can use one to tap your nature or to use a wise, like I just said. You may spend up to 3 points to add up to 3 die for a roll. And after you use your fate and persona points, they will almost become like experience points. If you go to the level requirements on your character sheet, all the way down at the bottom, it'll show, if you look at level 2, you will need to spend 3 fate and 3 persona.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
that's
why
your
it's important that we
incentive.
don't just throw away these points by not giving it to anybody.
Yeah, you get them, you spend them, and then you level up from them.
That is fascinating.
Okay, and it looks like we are now at the end of the session. So thank you all for coming and playing Torchbearer with me. I hope we can play again next week.
Yeah.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
for running. It's been very interesting. Looking forward to seeing how this all comes together in the end.
Now that we've spent almost the entire session just figuring that out. But like we said, now that we're into it and we're making all the rolls and we're doing everything, it's going to be a lot quicker going now.
Sounds good. I'm
Cool.
looking forward to it for sure.
All right.
Same here.
Thank you much, gentlemen. I guess I will see everybody next week.
Yep.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
See you
next
later,
time.
everybody.
See ya.
See ya.